Hello lovely people, my name is Emma and today you guys are going to help me buy some books. So, I have a readathon that I'm hosting coming up. I don't know if you know that, I don't know if I've mentioned it enough on this channel over the past week or so, but I am hosting Spring-A-Thon, which is a nature writing readathon that's happening in May, from May 4th to May 17th. All the information will be linked down below if you do want to come join us. Please do, it's going to be super fun. But I was looking through my Want to Read's Goodreads list for the various nature writing books out there that I have expressed an interest in, and it turns out there were freaking tons of them that I'm really excited about. So I want to treat myself to a few new books for this readathon as well. Not that I don't have enough on my TBR already, clearly. So what I figured would be fun would be to talk about the top 10 that I'm most interested in from my Want to Read list, and then you guys are going to help me pick 2 of them that I am going to buy for this readathon. I have not checked the availability of any of these. This could be a total disaster. I don't know how easy it is to get hold of them, especially given the current climate, but fingers crossed this is going to work. I also thought this would be a really good way of bringing to attention some other really interesting looking nature writing books out there. Obviously this is not a recommendations video because I've not actually read any of these. They might all suck, but if any of these sound interesting, I thought this might be a way of adding some more stuff onto your TBR, which would be good fun. So like I said, we're just going to jump in. 10 books. I've got them on my laptop in front of me here, so I'm going to be looking down quite a lot because I could not remember all the authors and I don't have them to hand, clearly. But yeah, let's do this. So the first one is called Incredible Journeys, Exploring the Wonders of Animal Navigation, and it's by David Barrie. This is a book looking at how certain animals are able to navigate in cross space. According to a lot of the Goodreads reviews, it's mainly focused on birds and insects, but it does have a couple of different animal examples in there as well. But this is things like, you know, like homing pigeons and how they're able to always be able to get back to where they are, and like bees and how bees dance and how that explains different kind of like navigational things. And it's just sort of a series of different chapters about different animals and the different ways that they do that, whether they're using like pheromones or some of them it's like the magnetic fields of the poles. It just looks so cool and so interesting and is so like unbelievably niche, but I'm definitely into it. The next one is Extraordinary Insects, The Fabulous Indispensable Creatures Who Run Our World by Sverdrup-Thygeson. Sorry, I was not expecting that. That's a lot of consonants in one name. I butchered that, my bad. But this, obviously, as the title suggests, is a book about insects and specifically about like their place within the ecosystem. There are a few insect books on this list because I really enjoy learning about insects. I think they're really creepy and gross, but very cool. Some of my favourite wildlife documentaries are about insects. David Attenborough has a whole series about them, which again, so creepy and so gross, but so cool. They're like ick, but they're amazing. So I am super psyched about this one, and the cover is stunning. It's got a picture of like an absolutely gorgeous beetle on it, so I really want to read it. The next one is Inheritors of the Earth, How Nature is Thriving in an Age of Extinction by Chris D. Thomas. This one just looked more upbeat than a lot of the books out there at the moment about our current climate situation. Obviously, I know climate change is a big deal. I have quite a few books on my shelf about that, which I do want to get to soon. One of them at least will be featured in my TBR for definite. But it just seemed really nice to, rather than kind of read the doom and gloom of like, oh, we're killing off the entire planet, to see what animal species are thriving in our current environment. Because, you know, the way that evolution works and that idea of finding evolutionary niches, it's about responding to your environment, and when your environment changes suddenly because of things that we're doing, there will be animals that are doing well from this. And I thought it'd be really nice to read something that wasn't quite so doom and gloom, especially given what's happening in the news right now. So yeah, that was one that I am really keen on, and just thought would be a bit more upbeat. Yeah, the next one I actually saw in a bookstore, and I know it's got the most gorgeous illustrations ever, and this is The Cabaret of Plants, Botany and the Imagination. This is by Richard Mabey, and it's a look at botanical history, and again, like I said, it's got loads and loads of illustrations in it. It's looking at some very specific different plant species, 40 in total actually, and the way that they've interacted with us across history. So it's a lovely combination of history writing, which obviously I really enjoy as well, and plants. Plants are cool. I really like plants. I didn't buy this one. I ended up buying The Secret Life of Trees in the bookstore. I was like literally sat there with these 2 books in front of me being like, which book do I buy for the plants? But I really want to pick this one up at some point. And like I said, stunning illustrations. I wish I could show you, but I don't own it. The next one is Dark Banquet, Blood and Curious Lives of Blood-Feeding Creatures by Bill Schutt. Bill Schutt wrote Cannibalism, which I read in December last year and really enjoyed. It was so interesting, and therefore like automatically makes this a strong contender on this list because I really like his writing style. Also, creatures who like blood-sucking creatures includes bats, which are one of my all-time favourite animals ever. They're like kittens with wings. I absolutely love them. If you're in the UK and you ever get a chance to go to Chester Zoo, check out their bat cave. It's amazing. You stand there and they fly around you. It's the coolest thing ever. So I definitely want to read more about these, and it's looking at things like why they inhabit some, so like they've had so many pop culture references for like horror stories and nightmares and our interactions with them, not just from a biological level, but Bill Schutt always includes like anthropology and history in there as well. So it's a real like multidisciplinary book that I definitely want to read. This one I think was a recommendation from Olive, from a book Olive, and this is Into the Planet, My Life as a Cave Diver by Jill Heinerth. This looks insane. Like, it's about a scuba diver who has gone exploring in like the kind of deep sea caves, and looks really cool. This is probably one of the few like memoir-y style books on this list. I don't tend to pick them up, but if I was going to pick up any, this definitely would be it. I've been scuba diving once when I was a kid and absolutely adored it, and I think that the ocean is so cool and so interesting, and I really want to read this book. Olive said it's absolutely stunning, and like the descriptions of the underwater life, it's just absolutely amazing. So I definitely want to get to this one at some point soon. One that's been on my TBR for an absolute century, I think I added this in like 2018 to my want to reads list, is The Zoo, The Wild and Wonderful Tale of the Founding of London Zoo by Isabel Charman. So does what it says on the tin, is a history of the founding of London Zoo, which I've been to. I live quite close to it. I also like lived really close when I was a kid to the one that's twinned with it, which is Whitsunday Zoo, which is absolutely amazing as a zoo. Go check it out. The Sea Lion show, fantastic. But yeah, so this is one that I really enjoy history, I really enjoy zoos. This is a no-brainer, and I definitely want to get to it. Going again super niche, and this is one actually that Natalie from Curious Reader added to her list recently, and I was like, I want to read that as well. And this is Soundings, the story of the remarkable women who mapped the ocean floor by Hali. Apparently this is about a woman called Marie Tharp, who I've never heard of, and I would really like to learn more about. Natalie reads a lot of books about women scientists in history who've been forgotten. We recently buddy read The Fossil Hunter together, which is about Mary Anning, who's a woman who collected a lot of fossils and was really important in natural history. But this looks so cool, and again, oceans, very interesting. I have no idea how they map the ocean floor. I have no idea how historically they map the ocean floor. Like, apparently this was one of the greatest achievements of the 20th century. I've never even thought about how we do that. There's gonna be so many cool, like so much cool information in this book. I need to read it. This is another one that's been on my list for quite a while, and this is The Sakura Obsession, the incredible story of the plant hunter who saved Japan's cherry blossoms by Naoko Abe. This one was recommended by Harriet over at Harriet Rosie, and this is about a gentleman who basically rescued Japan's cherry blossoms by kind of breeding them in back in his own country, bringing them back over. I don't know many of the details because I haven't read it yet, but it looks really cool. Cherry blossoms are stunning. There's like such an iconic part of like Japanese art and sort of Japanese culture, and I'd love to know how he did it and how he grew the plants and sort of bringing that forwards and backwards. It just sounds really cool and really interesting. And then the final one is Wicked Bugs, The Louse That Conquered Napoleon's Army and Other Diabolical Insects by Amy Stewart. It's another bug book. I really like bugs, what can I say? This is specifically about the sinister side of our relationship with the natural world, according to this book, and it's Stewart tracked down over 100 of our worst entomological foe creatures that infest, infect and generally wreak havoc on human affairs. I reckon this is going to be like properly skin-crawlingly gross, and I love it. I know Amy Stewart has another one called Wicked Plants, which again is about plants that cause destruction in some way, whether it be like poisons or things like that. So this just sounds like an absolute no-brainer. I'm more into the bug one than I am the plant one, just because I have quite a few books about plants on my shelf, and I think the destructive nature of bugs is going to be a little bit more interesting and a little bit more expansive. But yes, this one is one that I'm super psyched about. So, in case you couldn't tell, I'm really interested in all these books. I don't know which two I should get. So whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. And if nobody comments on this, then I'll random number generate it and buy 2. I don't know, maybe I'll buy all 10. I won't do that. My bank balance would absolutely hate me for it. So what out of this list were you intrigued by? Have you read any of these and can let me know whether they're actually any good or not? Do let me know in all the comments down below. I hope you're having a wonderful reading week. Please check out my readathon. Chat to you soon. Bye guys!